Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, I'm bringing a piece of news that has completely shaken the entertainment world, and above all, the fans of one of the most talked about series right now. Actress Demet has announced that she is leaving the series Esref Ruya. The reason? A strong, deeply personal change. Her recent breakup with her co-star Kagatay Ulusoy. And it was not a cold or calculated announcement. When she shared it on social media and in an official statement, Demet was overwhelmed and ended up crying. In her own words, she explained something very straightforward. Making this decision hurt her a lot. But after that separation, she no longer feels able to play her character with the same positive energy. She says it is the best choice for her, and also for the audience. A confession that shocked both the crew and the viewers. Production is already working against the clock to adjust the script. They want Demet's character to exit naturally, without it feeling forced, and everything points to the next episodes taking a more dramatic turn than expected. No one has confirmed the exact date of her last appearance yet, but internal leaks say the writers are rewriting key scenes and preparing a very emotional farewell. On set, the news hit like a bucket of cold water. Her co-stars have spoken about how sensitive and human Demet was when saying goodbye, and several team members say that farewell, real tears, sincere hugs, has stayed in everyone's memory. It is even said that she and Kagatay spoke face-to-face before closing this chapter, and that the atmosphere was intense yet respectful. Of course, fans reacted immediately. Social media filled up with messages under the hashtag Demet Özdemir, giving her strong support. Many repeated the same idea. They will miss her in the series, yes, but her well-being matters more than any on-screen story. Others wonder whether her relationship with Kagatay had already affected her performance, although most people preferred to respect her personal decision. And now, the big question remains: what comes next for her? Her future projects are still a mystery, but everything suggests Demet is not retiring. She is simply trying to rebuild herself and return stronger. Producers and representatives, according to reports, are supporting her so she can keep a healthy balance between her private life and her career. So on one hand, Esref Ruya will have to reinvent itself without one of its central figures. On the other, the public is curious to see when Demet will return to the screen and what new project will surprise us. The only sure thing is this: her goodbye has marked a before and after in the series, in the team, and in the audience. And yes, this story is not over yet. We will stay alert to every new detail. When I think about Demet Özdemir surrounded by all this wave of attention because of her story with Khan Yaman, one idea comes to mind very clearly. She has been assigned by the public the role of the calm side in a narrative that is always told as fiery, turbulent, almost like a novel. I say this with affection for her, but also with some rejection of that label, because I don't like it when a woman is pushed, almost by default, into the role of refuge, salvation, or the only one who truly loves. I understand why many people repeat it. You can see it in the comments, but Demet is not a place you return to when it's raining outside. She is a whole person with limits, pride, and her own path, and she shouldn't be reduced to the one who waits. To me, Demet conveys something that often gets lost among so many theories, a mix of delicacy and firmness. I don't see her as someone desperate to hold on to anyone, even though some people imagine that she begged Can or that she would be willing to give him a third chance. That affection might remain between them if what they had was real, seems possible to me. But it's another thing entirely to think that she would stay there quietly waiting with her hopes intact. Honestly, I don't see her like that. Demet has always seemed aware of her worth, even when she falls in love. And maybe that's why many people don't know how to read her silences, because they don't fit the typical image of a woman who pleads, chases, or lowers herself. That said, I also don't ignore the emotional weight in the way people talk about her. There are comments that basically say, Ken had her, didn't value her, and now he should apologize. I don't know what happened between them away from the cameras, but I understand the root of that anger. The feeling that Demet's side was genuine, while Khan's later relationships felt more frivolous or self-interested. In that contrast, Demet appears as the authentic one. And that can sound nice, yes, but it also weighs heavily. Because when you turn someone into the only truth, you take away their right to be human, to doubt, get tired, fail, or close a door without having to justify it. I believe Demet, over the years, moved forward without letting this story break her. And that says a lot to me. While factions, rumors, and invented soap operas grew around her, she maintained a solid career, built with discipline and a quiet elegance. You may like her acting more or less, but there's something I value. She doesn't seem to need scandal to sustain her name, nor to feed the noise to stay in the spotlight. In fact, I get the opposite impression. When the noise rises, she turns the volume down. In an industry where so many people cling to media fire, that self-control is rare and, to me, admirable. I know many people fantasize about a romantic comeback, almost as if it were an unfinished destiny. Nostalgia sells, in the end. But when I think of Demet, I don't imagine her going back just out of nostalgia. If one day they reconnected in another way, it would have to come from a different place, where she isn't anyone's second chance, but rather a mature, clean, mutual choice. Because love can mean patience, time, and forgiveness, yes, but it is also memory. And Demet doesn't have to swallow what hurt her just to fit into someone else's perfect story. It also bothers me when people present her as the one who holds Ken up, as if he depended on her not to sink. That idea, that Demet saved him once and would rescue him again, sounds unfair to both of them. To Ken, because it paints him as someone without strength or direction of his own. And to Demet, because it reduces her to an emotional tool for someone else. I prefer to believe that if she was there at some point, it was by choice and affection, not because she had a mission to fix the lives of intense men. Deep down, what I see in Demet is a woman who inspires loyalty precisely because she feels honest, coherent, and affectionate without being dependent. The public wants to believe in her because she represents a possible kind of love. Less spectacle, more everyday truth. That is beautiful, of course, but it also places huge expectations on her. So when I think about what I want for her in this story, it's not that she goes back to Cannes, nor that she stays away forever. It's simpler, that she chooses what truly does her good, without pressure, without guilt, and without needing to fulfill anyone's fantasy. Because Demet is not a secondary chapter in Can Yaman's romantic biography. She is the protagonist of her own. And honestly, I wish everyone, fans, media, the curious, would look at her from that angle. Not as a symbol of what Ken lost, but as a complete woman who loves if she wants, who leaves if she needs to, and who doesn't have to prove to anyone that her love was the only real one. Her life is not a romantic revenge. It's her life. And to me, that is what matters most.